Webster's defines empowerment as self-actualization and lists invest as a synonym. As educators, each day we strive to make investments in our children where they feel confident as learners, they strive for new heights, and soar beyond what they ever dreamed they could do. We want to make sure that our students, even when tackling difficult and sensitive material in a classroom, still feel a sense of pride and a sense of confidence to voice their opinions, share their beliefs, express any concerns. We welcome and value all of our students every day.
I think people think we're a lot more different than we really are.
Anybody can play with anybody?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Do they all look the same?
No,
No. How are they different?
because they're all different people.
Absolutely they are.
So they can be their self.
Oh yeah. So how are they themselves?
They do different things.
Yeah.
They can swing on the swings, and play tag and do what they want.
Yeah.
Except for being bad.
What would you want other kids to know about kids like you like your family?
Well, not most kids ask me that.
Yeah.
Not a single kid asked me.
Not a single kid is that. What do you want kids to ask you that, or would you rather them not?
I want them to.
You want them to ask about where you're from? Yeah? What would you tell them?
I would tell them all about what we do there, how to count up to a few numbers there, and and tell them all about what would happen if there was no money there.
Full self. Like some kids, I start talking Chinese and they're like, whoa, teach me something. So I'm just like myself. I don't think it's bad.
You bring up Black History Month. I know that for some students, Black History Month has sometimes been uncomfortable. Has that been your experience while you've been here in Mason?
No, I feel like Black History Month is probably the most comfortable month for me.
Okay, very good. Do you feel like in that month specifically that all eyes are on you because you are
Yes.
an African American student?
Very much so.
Okay, and how has that been?
I guess it just feels like I can explain more because some people have never had that chance to really. They watch documentaries and that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. That's like secondhand. They don't know firsthand. Like I have a grandma who was at like the March on Washington, and she like vividly talks about them, and it's very in depth.
Obviously, you're proud of your Guatemalan heritage. Do you see that reflected very much at school?
Well, like whenever we talk about I know in the past years we talked a lot about Latin America, and I thought I enjoyed those subjects because I would be able to bring in things, and I would have a day when I could teach the class, and my mom would make this dish for the class. Yeah. Well, at the beginning of the year, my teacher told the class that we have subjects, and if you have anything on it, you could talk to her. We could bring it in. So I talked to them. Well, first I asked my mom because they're from Guatemala and stuff. So yeah, and then she would let me have a day.
Have you ever experienced any moments of discomfort when we have topics that specifically are addressing the African American experience?
No, not really. I'll just feel that I know a little bit more because I've talked about it a little bit more.
What does it mean? Do you like to find a book that has characters and people that look like you in it?
My mom says that you should find a book that looks like you. I have one that has it has this word named angel in it, but I don't know what it means. But it just looks a lot like me.
Are there adults in the school who, if you feel sad about something, that you can talk to?
Mm-hmm.
Who would they be?
The counselor. You can write a note to tell them about what happened today. You can tell the teacher, and you can tell a lunch lady if somebody just hurt you.
Who at school do you feel like you can talk to if something isn't going right?
Carter, Adam, some people, my reading partner.
Teacher did something that made you feel really special?
Nope.
Yeah, like last year we learned about the Chinese dynasty, so I thought that was really fun. I got to contribute like what I know to that, and so yeah, I guess we do.
Can you think of any activity that that you've done at school that you really think helped you learn a lot about other races?
We did the religion board games, and that helped a lot because you have to make questions, and we played all the other games, and that helped.
It's really been in social studies because language arts, they don't really talk about, you know, our culture and how like writing and stuff. They don't talk about that. They just talk about, you know, here, and then that's like social studies is really the only place where I can really connect to, you know, my culture.
Have you ever had a moment in any of your language arts classes that you can remember that included literature that highlighted a group of people that were non-white?
Probably once.
Probably once.
We mainly do that in social studies.
Okay.
Like we'll have to focus on like slaves. Mm-hmm. Mainly not. We haven't had anything writing.
Well, last year I remember we had una fiesta because we read Esperanza Rising, and so I shared a little and I offered to bring in tortillas for my mom.
We just finished reading a book called Night, which is about the Holocaust.
And that's by Eli Wiesel, right?
Yeah.
And do you connect with that because that's a book by a Jewish author?
Yeah, I think that makes it a little easier to connect with.
We were talking about culture, and I think we did like 1 week, we learned about the Asian culture, and then this other week we learned about other culture or whatever, and 1 week was about, you know, South America and Hispanics or whatever.
So we read The Color of Water, right? Mm-hmm. I thought that most people thought that was a good book, so it brought kind of like the Jewish and the Black community together.
Yeah, I think sophomore year or freshman year in history, we did a project where we basically drew a graph of the different religions and the different races, and it was just really cool to see like how diverse the class was. And I think like that showed me like that, you know, I'm not the only one, and it just showed that, you know, like I'm not the only one going through these things. The walk the line was probably like one of the best things because, like I said before, it makes you feel like, yeah, you're not the only one. Like I know like one of the ones that I liked the best was when they asked if like you've been racially prejudiced or you've ever said anything to you, and like so many people stepped to the line. It wasn't just colored people, it was like, you know, Christians and white people and African Americans, and it was incredible. Yeah.
Ever seen kids like be mean to someone because they're different?
No, but there was this one bully. He was bullying my friend Christian, and I told him to stop. Then he's like, "You don't have to boss me." And I'm like, "Well, you're pretty much hurting my friend, so you better do something else." Then he started walking away.
Do you think you could have told a teacher about that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Who would you have told, and what would you have done?
I would have told my teacher, Miss Fuller, because she was outside when this happened.
Yeah.
So I just didn't feel like doing it because I didn't want to tattletale anything.
Because if you're not yourself, then like people will come and like pretend that like you're nobody, and so then you have to like stand up for yourself and just say, I'm me, I'm not like your puppet.
What do you think kids can do at Western Row to make the school better?
Like they could listen to announcements and like recycle at school instead of like throwing all their plastic cups away in the trash, because like Miss Foam, she's wanting us to do good things at home and at school.
Very good.
And like they should give like for this cancer Alex's lemonade stand, they should give their money instead of like trying to buy it and give it to like people who don't need it, and they're gonna just keep the mind to ourselves.
I think what I would do is like in the assemblies when they try to teach about respecting other people and all those really educational things that nobody really pays attention to. I always try to pay attention and and usually what they're saying is really interesting and it's really true. And I wish that people would listen more because it would make everything better. So I feel like if I were superintendent, I would work towards trying to get more of a, like what you guys are doing, like trying to get more of the kids' opinion about how they would like it done so that they'll listen.
Does anybody make you feel special because you can be different? Like
Cynthia.
She makes you feel special. Yes. Who else make you feel special because you speak Spanish or
You.
Oh, thank you.
They make me feel special.
They do. But how do they do that?
They would help me do stuff, and I feel like I don't really think I could do it. Like whenever they announce people who they caught being good, I'm sure everyone's being good. Like people in my class, they're always saying, but I picked up pencils, I did that. And then they never get called, but unless the teacher reports your name, so I'd probably make sure that everyone would get a part of it if they did something good.
What do you think it's like if your family is from another country and you go to Western Row?
Well, even if my family is from another country, I can learn all the cultures that they came from, and I can learn everything I'm supposed to know when I'm not even born there.
Anyone who's really encouraged you at school or made you really made a difference for you?
My teachers.
And how? Can you give me an example of that?
Like sometimes when I think it was in 5th grade, like one of my teachers said, like, don't like do something, just do it yourself and like be your own person.
Are you taking honors classes? Or are you doing any?
No.
No.
But next year I'm taking continuous
Okay.
math. But
That's it. And did anybody talk to you about that and say, you know what, Sierra, you should really do that? Like at school? No. And so, do you think that would be important if a teacher would say to you, Sierra, I think you can really do this. I want you to try doing continuous, or I want you to try honors.
If they said to me like one-on-one, like you should do, yeah, I'd be like happy, like yay.
If someone told you, I really believe in you, I think you could do this.
Yeah.
Is there anyone in Mason schools who've really encouraged you or really made a difference for you at school?
I don't really know, but my social studies teacher right now, she says all these things about how like I'm really smart or something, and I'm like, well, what have I done and to make you think that? And I don't know, she's just really starting to
So her telling you that
yeah,
had a big impact on you.
it's starting to.
Yeah.